Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Rachel here. Welcome to day 4 of this amazing Cricut course here. And today all we're going to be doing is showing you around Design Space. We're just going to be showing you some buttons and letting you guys know where everything is at to get familiar with everything. We are not going to overwhelm you by starting to demonstrate some things to go over more terminology and get you all confused. In today's video, we are simply going to be giving you all a tour through Design Space and allowing you to maybe take some notes and soak in where the buttons are and where things are easily accessible and buttons you want to remember that you're going to be using quite often. So we're just going to go to New Project here. This is the home of the Cricut Design Space, and this is our company account here. So all we're going to click is New Project. And this is your canvas. So this is just a blank area where you guys are able to design your projects or size your SVGs, etc. here on this canvas. So we're just going to kind of go down the line, go through here, and show you all the buttons. Now, the reason why these are all hidden for us is because we don't have anything on our canvas. So we're going to quickly add something to our canvas. I'm just going to click a random cut file that we have here. This is a cute one, so we're just going to pop this in here. Don't even worry about this step. The only reason why I have this in here right now is to be able to show you guys more of these buttons. So again, this is just a tour. We're not going to overwhelm or confuse anyone here today. So our cut file is here, and the most important thing is the layers panel. So your layers panel is all the way over here to the right of your screen. This is your layers panel here, and it will have all of your cut files here. All these little eyeballs here are really great. This is how you hide a layer and unhide a layer. We'll get to that in another video as well. You can group things together if you have a lot of these. So if we take this guy and ungroup him, then you'll see our group is now available. All this does is group things together here on the canvas. There's an ungroup button. We have a duplicate button, which I'm sure you guys can guess what that does. And we have a delete button. So this is very important. This is kind of your hub all the way through for your Design Space adventures. You'll be on your layers panel all the time. Now up here is the layers button. If you go over here, you can see color sync. And it really explains what it is here. This panel allows you to sync colors to use fewer materials. To change the colors, drag and drop an object onto the layer of your desired color. So literally you just drag and drop, and now all of my layers are one color, which is awesome. So that is where you'll be able to see all of your colors and sync them up if you'd like to. It's very, very easy, because the only other way that you can change the color is if you go here. Make sure you have your file selected and you go up here to change the color right next to line type. And you can, go here if you want something a little bit redder. You can go and click advanced down there and get something more red or less red, whatever you want to do. But that's how you change those colors there as well. So back over to the layers panel. If you go all the way down, you can see these buttons down here at the bottom. You will be able to use these a lot as well. These buttons are slice, weld, attach, flatten, and contour. Contour is not highlighted for us today because with this specific file we have, unless we ungroup, we cannot contour. So if I take this and I click this button up here, or ungroup, and I click this now, you can now see that our contour button is readily available for us. That's just something to remember there as well. So all these buttons here: slice, weld, attach, flatten, contour. We use all of these. Flatten is mostly for print and cuts. So attach is what group is, but a little more permanent there. Weld is extremely permanent, and slice is kind of like a cookie cutter. Now again, we'll get into all of these actual definitions and demonstrations in another video. Up here at the top, there's a lot going on here. So over here we have our beautiful undo button. I love our undo button. It is amazing for if you make a little mistake, you can undo that very quickly. Line type here is where you can change from a cut to a draw, score, engrave, deboss, wave, or perforation. This is only for the Cricut Maker. As you can see here next to our Make It button, we have our Cricut Maker selected. If you have a Joy or Explore, you can select those and then your line type will change accordingly. But you can engrave, deboss, wave, and perforate with the Cricut Maker, which is why we have all of these options for us. And now this fill and no fill is if you want this to be a print and cut or if you want there to be a pattern. Now this is a bit advanced, so I wouldn't worry about this right now. We'll cover that maybe in a whole different course because this is a bit of an advanced thing for you guys to do. So we don't really bother with that very much. These two we do not bother with. This is just kind of selects everything that you have on the entire canvas. I actually don't use that a whole lot. And then edit, you can copy or cut. We don't use these a whole lot either. We love the align tool. So the align tool enables you to be able to line these up together. So since these are separate, if I did this, and then let's say I selected both of these, you can see align is highlighted. I can click align, and let's say that I want to center this horizontally. Watch my image now. It fixes it for me. It's amazing. So this is the align tool you can just use on every project if you're making a lot of things with fonts. It's really helpful. So we do love the align tool. I use it very often. You can, as you can see here, align left, center horizontally, align right, align top, center vertically, align bottom, and center. My favorite thing about this is that it has these little images on the side to kind of give an example of what it will do, which is my favorite. And then if you have things like a bunch of little circles and you want them to be distributed evenly down here, which are not highlighted right now, but you can use on different projects, you can distribute horizontally and distribute vertically, which is awesome. Now flip, you probably can guess what flip is. You just can click one of these to flip your image or the layers you have selected vertically or horizontally. Now here is our size. You can change the size here. If you want this to be 6 inches, it changes that height. Or if you wanted to go back, we'll go ahead and click undo for us. If you wanted to unlock this, here's our little unlock button up here, but there's also an unlock button down here. So you can unlock it this way, or you can unlock it this way. And unlock means that, watch my height, okay? If I want to make this 3 inches, my height changes as well. But if I want to select this and unlock this and then make our width 3 inches, now watch my height again. My height doesn't change. So that is that lock and unlock ratio. That's what that does as well. And now this more button here is only here because I do not have my canvas large enough. If my canvas was full screen on my laptop, then this all this rotate and position would be right here. But since I have my screen a little bit smaller, our little more button is right here. But this is how you rotate things. You can rotate text or really any image. Or you can position this at the axes, which I do not do. It's too much math for me, way too much math. But if you'd like to do that, feel free to. That's what that is there. Up here, I mentioned next to our Make It button, you can choose the machine that you have. There is a Save button here where you can name your project, you and me, and then you can save it. But we don't need to do that right now. And then this button here will take you to all the projects that you have already saved previously, which I really love saving my projects. I save them periodically. It really helps me in the long run. And then all the way over here to the left side of the canvas, you'll see the word canvas here, and then you can click this drop down here and you can see everything that you have to work with. Right here is the calibration button, which Miss Becca will be able to teach you about in a whole nother course here, but there's just new machine setup and all this fun stuff here, settings, Cricut access, all that great stuff that you might need. And then I'm going to click off of that. So that's what that is. This button right here will go ahead and give you a brand new canvas. This is the template button, and this is for if you guys want to visualize something on the canvas, you can do that using these templates. We really don't use them that much because we like to place our dimensions of the blank or the project that we are applying vinyl to in Design Space, right on the canvas. So speaking of, if you're here and you're like, oh, well, what button do I get to get back to my canvas? Up here at the top, just click Canvas again. And what I mean by that is, instead of using a template, if we know we want to put this cut file on a sign that is 10 inches wide by 7 inches long, what we do is go and get us a shape down here. I'm sorry, I'm jumping the gun. I know shapes is lower down, but right here's the shapes. We get a shape. You can see all these amazing shapes here, and their score lines. We're going to get a square, and here we're going to go up to size, and we want the width of 10. Bring that over, and then we're going to unlock this. We want to unlock that ratio, and we want a height of 7. And now we can go down here at the bottom. I hope you guys are following my mouse, and you see it's quite large. Well, we can actually make the actual canvas smaller, just like so. And now you can bring your cut file in and size it to your frame, because the size of your frame is here in Design Space, which is amazing. So that is what we do instead of using templates, and it's worked amazing for us. Next is projects. This is not your project. So up here at the top is your projects. Down here is Cricut's projects. So you can see all these projects that they have that you are able to create if you wanted to. Again, we don't use that tab very often because we have all of our amazing projects from Makers Gonna Learn. And then here is images. Again, this is a Cricut tab here. You can search images. You can go through all of these amazing categories, but again, we don't use it because we download and upload our own images from Makers Gonna Learn. Next is text. So this is where you'll be working with all of your fonts. You can click that text, you can see your text box here, and then since this popped up, I do want to go back up to the top and show you what all of this is. So the font is right here. This is how you can select your fonts. Now, every font that you download from Makers Gonna Learn will be on System, not All or Cricut. It will be on System. And I'm sure I'll reiterate this, so I'm sorry if you are going to be hearing me be a little repetitive in a different video, but this is where all of our fonts will be. Now, if we click text box again, you can see the style here. Regular, bold, italic, bold, writing. You can see all that. We don't really mess with this at all. We don't use this feature. Font size is right here, but again, we kind of size it ourselves. So if we go here in this Cricut Sans, if we just type out hello, instead of sizing this ourselves and using these little arrows, we just take the arrow and drag it ourselves and, size it the way that we want to by ourselves. Now, that's why we don't use font size that much. Now, letter space. I love letter space. Again, we will be defining these as we go. So letter space and line space will define, but it's pretty self-explanatory. If you use the bottom arrow, the letters get closer together. The up arrow, the letters get farther apart. And then line space doesn't really work right now, but if I were to click on this hello and then click shift and type out there, hello there, then I went up here to line space. If I had the arrow up, the distance between the two lines would get greater, and if you use the bottom arrow, the distance between the two lines would get smaller. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Here's our alignment tool again. You can center these, so watch our text. Perfect, it just centered it right there. And then if we had one line here and nothing else, we can go here and actually curve our text. So this is curved text, just like that. You curve it to the right to go down, to the left to go up. Yeah, we don't use it very often, but that's that's where that's at. And then this advanced feature here, we don't use very much either, because this ungroup to letters, we can also do by just clicking the ungroup button up here on our layers, which for me is a little bit easier to see, quicker to do, and things like that. But I did want to mention how many different ways there are to do something in Design Space, which is amazing. So to delete something, you can click this button right there, or you can click the delete button on your keyboard, or you can click this delete button over here in the layers panel. To copy and paste, you can double click and copy and then paste, or you can click it and click duplicate. There's just things like that to do on every single project. So don't feel the need to do it exactly the way I teach it. Feel free to do it however you are most comfortable. And again, we will be diving into a deeper look into Design Space after we share with you guys how to download SVGs, PNGs, how to download fonts and things like that. We'll start really getting you guys comfortable here. Now below the text tool is shapes, which I've already ruined the surprise for, because we showed you how to create the dimensions for your blank projects in here with a square. But we have squares, circles, triangles, diamonds, pentagons, hexagons, stars, octagons, hearts, and score lines. Score lines are great for cards. We're probably not going to mention anything about score lines until later on when Miss Becca shows you how to make a beginner card with your Cricut. She will be teaching you how to use a score line there. But we use probably the square the most often to create things for frames and sizes for our wall decor and things. But shapes are really great. You can actually go down here and weld a lot of shapes together to create something amazing like a house. It's really easy to create a house with a square. If we wanted to delete both of these and get a square here, we can get him and just like that. And then if we want to make the chimney, we can actually go get another square, or we can simply take this square and duplicate it. And now you'll want to unlock that lock ratio and make that kind of skinny like that. Move that over. We'll get another shape. We'll get a triangle here, and we'll make this triangle much larger. And we can actually unlock this triangle too to make him a little bit squattier. And we can place that right there. There's our chimney, just like that. And you can see this is a great house shape, but on the layers panel, you can see they're all different. They're all different here. So again, I'll be showing you this in another video, so I do apologize for that. But just to give you guys a little bit of insight there, all you have to do is drag both of those, or all three of those layers, excuse me. And how you know that a layer is selected is if it is light gray, or excuse me, dark gray in your layers panel. So you can look over here and see them all dark gray. If I click off of them, they're light gray. So if I just click this layer, you can see just that one layer is a little bit darker than the rest. So if you click, drag all of them, and then you come down here to the bottom of your layers panel and click weld, you can see now that is one single image there. It's all welded together, your little home, your little house there. So we do love that. We love using basic shapes for that. It is super helpful in a lot of ways. And last but not least, the other button I want to show you guys is upload. So upload is a really great thing, because this is where you upload all of your images. You can see here you can upload JPEG, GIF, PNG, BMP, SVG, or DXF. I have not heard of the majority of those. But anyways, right here's where you will be able to drag and drop or browse for your files. As you can see here, you can do desktop or recents or downloads or things like that, and that's how you do that. So I'm going to click cancel there. So that's about it, guys. That is your tour of your amazing canvas here. Again, it's really easy. We're going to be deep diving into this a little more in another video. Just some things to remember too is that down here at the bottom, you can increase or decrease the percentage of your canvas to either see a project larger or smaller, depending on the size of project you're doing. Both are beneficial. And also, you can go way up here. If you see my mouse here, you can go way up here in between these little corners here and click this button, and your grids will turn off of your canvas. It'll go from double grids to single grids to no grids, which is a fun little thing to know as well. So I hope you enjoyed this class, guys, and I will see you in the next one.